Hello and welcome to Ula Tea Leaf Readings. My name is Lenor and tonight I'm going to be reading your tea leaves. This is a horoscope for Gemini. If Gemini is your solar, lunar, ascendant / rising sign, then this is a message for you. All right, let's get started. And so tonight we have the Hierophant card. You could also call this the High Priest. Okay, and let's go ahead and take a look and see what these tea leaves have to say. And so if you have not subscribed yet, please think about doing that. You can hit the little bell. It'll let you know when the next readings are coming out. Ooh, we got a big scorpion, maybe a Scorpio in the mix. Okay. All right, so I want to go ahead and start. Right here. This is a really beautiful image. We have, it looks like a seated person. Okay, you can see the head right here. You can see that they're seated. This would be where the legs are at. Now above them, it almost looks like we have like a halo. Okay, it almost looks like Ouroboros or maybe kind of even a garden, right? With the hedges around it, and then we have a single rose in the middle. In this case, the rose indicates the mystery, okay? In esoteria, the rose is the sign of the mystery. Now, when the rose is opened, okay, we can see all the petals. This is the revealing of the mystery. And so I look at this and I feel like you are really so very much in this place of spirituality, of your faith, in your grace. There are high understandings coming, okay? That is that the higher thinking, right? So you might be somebody who is a practitioner. You might be initiated, maybe not. You know, you might be beginning your journey or returning to. But I feel like there is a sense of great serenity here. And really this feeling of, I feel like seeing things so clearly for the first time in a long time. Seeing them with ease, with love and openness, both heart and mind, okay? The psychic workings are full blast right now. I feel like you're very much in your intuition. You might be clairvoyant. You might have, you know, there are so many varieties of clairvoyance, but you might be having kind of premonitions, dreams, you know, some kind of visions or something like this. But more than has been in the past, or the past few months anyways, I feel there is just this overwhelming sense of, yeah, I keep thinking it's the faith. There's a renewal of faith maybe, or kind of, you know, they say like the heart aflame, right? And this is what this feels like. There's a belovedness of the divine. You're seeing it, feeling it, experiencing it in your life, in those sacred moments and in the mundane, okay? While you go about your day. There is a lot of that God energy, goddess energy, mystic energy, cosmic energy, okay? And so this is the most beautiful time for you. I say fully, you know, apply yourself to these energies. Let yourself go walking down these beautiful corridors of revelation, of, you know, things being shown to you, getting these kind of spiritual downloads, as they are called. Definitely worth the time and effort, and it is effort to be, in that spiritual realm, most definitely. If you are engaged in your studies, continue on with that. If you are keeping kind of a magical journal or dream journal, or whatever it is, affirmations, gratitude, ideas, keep writing that stuff down. I think it is so very helpful to help process, but also to be in a state of remembering. Now, you don't necessarily have to go back and ever look at these things, but just the act of writing it out, making a list, even a sketch, it exercises your brain in such a way that, yes, you do kind of retain that information a little bit more, okay? Now, I want to take a look here. It looks like we have a little tree right here. We also have a person who is pointing. And I almost see this kind of little pathway here. And the moment I saw this, I thought there's this sense of wanting to return home, kind of to the family in some way. Now, it doesn't have to be like a physical location, but it feels like there is this kind of yearning for closeness with those who have known you for a long time, those who know you pretty well. It might be that you have moved away, or, in the busyness of life, you have not been in communication as much as you'd like to be. Or maybe there is some degree of separation or estrangement, okay? But I do feel there is within self this real kind of urge to kind of reunite, at least with some of the family, okay? So, of course, if you're in a situation where you are estranged, okay, I can't tell you what to do, of course, but I just, being somebody who is estranged from family, but also quite sentimental at times, I always say, give it a few days, right? You have the impulse to text or maybe add them on a social media or something like this. Okay, keep it, put a pin in it, and, in 3 or 4 days, if you still feel the same way, then yeah, go ahead. But I think it's always important when we're reaching out to people, especially where it might be kind of emotionally challenging, that we do it with great intention, okay? So give yourself time. Go slowly. Be patient, right? There's no hurry. So, but if it is, yeah, you have family, you haven't been seeing them as much, maybe you've been working a lot, whatever it is, find the time. Go see your people. Go be with your people. I'm sure, not unlike our family over here, a lot of people so busy this time of year, so many things happening, so many events and celebrations, and if you're in the northern hemisphere, yeah, the summer, just in general, busy during the summer. So definitely maybe carve out some time there. Okay, now we're gonna go ahead, and here I see it looks like an angel playing a harp. Okay, and I just can almost hear the music. It sounds very kind of calming, angelic, quite beautiful. And I think this really goes back to this place we're in over here, where there is an ease. There's kind of this real calming effect in your life. I feel like you just are kind of, very present, but mindful and not judging every little thing, right? Difficult. Well, anyways, for me, very difficult. As a Virgo, as you know about Virgos, we are always sizing everything up constantly. But I do feel like, yeah, you're in a pretty chilled zone here. I feel like even beyond that, there is a sense of kind of stressors being released. I feel like you have kind of almost like intentionally really turned down the volume on those stressful things. You're prioritizing your well-being. You're prioritizing your spiritual work, religious work, self-care, wellness, all of that. And I feel like just in general, it's almost like in the household, right? The atmosphere has gone down like 4 notches. Like, nobody's screaming. It's not super loud. Like at our house, sometimes it's like there's music playing, there's a TV on somewhere. The cats are, jumping around. The baby, well, she's not a baby anymore. I call her the baby. She's not. She's 4 now. Running around the house. You can just hear those feet. And, whatever else, toys going, and so on and so on. On the days when we can all get in the same vibe and the house is calm, there's a zen that has kind of taken over the landscape. This is that energy, just really, really nice and easy and beautiful, and put on those rose-colored glasses. Sometimes we just need to, right? Sometimes it's okay to just kind of look around your life and be like, yeah, this is pretty good, So anyways, let's go ahead and look. Now, it looks like we have a little house. It almost reminds me of an outhouse because it has the crescent moon on it. So, immediately, and I don't want to stress anybody out, I immediately wonder, should you be looking at your plumbing? Sometimes when we see signs here, like if I see a frog, because a frog or a toad, either way, I know they're different, but either way, if I see those, I know that we're working with backyard spirits, and especially backyard spirits that watch over our doorways and our windows. And so I'll always tell you, go check out all of the locks on your house. If you're watching this in the evening and you're in bed and all that, go look. Go make sure the garage door's down. Go make sure everything's locked up. Maybe you left something on accident, one of the windows or whatever. I live in the middle of nowhere. All of my neighbors, who aren't very close, but, they think that we're crazy because we keep things locked up. We have a security system and cameras and everything else, right? But you can't. I lived in the city my whole life. And I also, not my whole life, but a good portion of my life, I lived in the city and in very densely populated places. Okay. And I also lived alone. Right? So I always was checking everything. I even keep like a little, like the small wind chimes on some of the doors because, and my husband, shout out to my husband, Dove and Serpent Tarot. His name is Paul. Go check him out. My husband thinks it's so annoying because every time I open the door, it's like ding, 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 ding. But I do because I just, that was my frugal security system when I was living by myself, and I just like it now. I just check things out. Okay. Now this one, I've gone off on a tangent about home security, but this one with the bathroom. Okay. So then I kind of think, go check out the plumbing, go make sure, look under the sink. Sometimes we don't do that for a while. You might have like me, I keep a lot of cleaning stuff under most of my sinks. And sometimes I gotta make sure I pull things, move them around, and look to see if there's any residue from a drip, or, you know, where I'm at, it's humid. Sometimes the pipes sweat and all of that. Here comes CT meowing down the hall. So go and check. I'm not trying to throw hex at you, okay? Quite the opposite. But yes, go check it out, okay? Toilets, hose outside, all of it. Go see everything, you know, even if you're renting, right? And I've rented most of my life. So, yeah, even so, check it out so you don't have any major failures. That's never fun. I once had an apartment, and it was like one of those huge, like, it was by a college. So it was a lot of like older grad students and stuff. And somebody on the floor, I was on the bottom floor, somebody second floor, hung clothes off of like one of those sprinkler. All of the apartments had sprinkler things on by the ceiling. They hung it off. It broke. It set all of the sprinklers off. You could hear. It sounded like a bathtub was being poured down the walls. It was awful. You know, you don't want to go through that. It just. It's a terrible experience, and all of the things that came after it were not fun. So, yeah, we always want to make sure. Okay, so we have the scorpion down here. We also have a large bird here. Okay, we have a person meeting the bird. So yeah, definitely a time of great messaging coming through. And I say this because I have a little sip there of my drink. I say this because the bird is the messenger, and this is a large bird. So this is kind of reserved for like when you have maybe one of those dreams where like a transitioned person, somebody who has passed on, they've left their physical form, they come and they visit you. You have a dream where you're fully with them. I mean, it feels like they're right there. This size bird is something like that, okay? So definitely keep note of your dreams. Don't be dismissive of them, no matter how weird and random they are. There might be something really important in there. So again, if you're keeping some kind of journal, or even just get a little notepad. I love those little, I like the legal notepads, the big ones, or the little ones that are similar, the yellow or the white ones. I like the yellow. The yellow seems happier for some reason, but keep it next to the bed. Just jot it down, whatever comes to mind when you wake up, you know, and so you don't forget. And so that seems real important. I also feel like there is somebody in your life who I feel like they're not necessarily like a spiritually inclined person, or at least overtly, right? And I don't think you know them in this way. It's not like, you know, you are in some kind of like meetup group for people who, you know, read tarot cards or something. No, I think this is just some kind of, you know, normal, whatever that means, normal. Just some regular person, whatever that means, regular, in your life, right? You don't really know them through this lens, but they have something that they're going to say to you or tell you that will almost feel like it's like something speaking through them, if that makes sense. And, you know, it's odd. I've been, you know, practicing in the occult since, I don't know, I guess when I was like about 19, right? And even before that, I was exposed to a lot of like different spiritualities and religions and practices and so on. So I kind of was open-minded about it. But when I was starting, I always like thought, well, I have to go meet these like, you know, initiates and get in, you know, go to like go to theosophy meetups or Thelema or, you know, whatever, Wicca or what. I never did that one, but you know, whatever. I'm trying to give you some examples. And I always hope to meet like some super magical person or people, right? And it's not to say that I never did through these kind of channels, but I found pretty quickly in my journey that the most profound messaging for me anyways, the way that I receive connection with the divine and the beloved, is what I call it, the beloved, was through just ordinary interactions with people, or meeting somebody like at a party or something, having a really like weird and intense conversation or whatever, right? And I feel like this is going to be a situation kind of like that for you. It's just a random person. You might even just be like on the bus or in the grocery store or, you know, I don't even know, like some function where you don't know a lot of people and you're just sitting there chit-chatting. It's something like this, okay? So keep an eye out for that as well. Now, we have the Scorpion. We have the Scorpion right here. So who is the Scorpio for you? This is somebody that I feel like you are very connected with, okay? But it feels like a pretty volatile, and we have a volcano down here. Volatile relationship, okay? Maybe love, probably friendship, could be both, okay? On your mind a lot, okay? Here's the thing though. I feel like, and I'm seeing, we have the fish over here. There's a real distinct message here of keeping your friendship, your romantic entanglements with this person fully separate from money stuff. Do not go in business with them. Don't, like, if they have a place where they work and they have a job available, don't do it. I mean, you know, if you're looking for a job and you can get one, I mean, yeah. Okay, I know it's hard to get good jobs these days, but definitely keep the separation. This is not somebody that you want to do business with. Not because they're a Scorpio. I'm not talking poorly about Scorpios. I adore Scorpio people. But it's just not in the tea leaves for you two to be doing that kind of work together. Okay. Now, let's go look over here. We have an H and an I. It says hi right here. H-I. Okay. Let's see. I'm going to put this tea in there so I don't spill it all over. So H-I. Oh, and the number one. We have a person holding a question mark right up here. We also have somebody down here. And what? Okay, I'm going to look at it this way. I almost feel like there is this kind of chasing going on. And there's a person with an S name. S. Something that starts with an S. And it feels like either you're kind of leading them on or they're leading you on. Somebody's leading somebody. It's not leading on, but I feel like it's kind of like not quite sure if you want to engage this person in your private life fully, or like maybe even have a relationship with them. But it's like this constant, you know, I don't know. It's like, not like they're always pestering you, but I almost feel like you feel pestered to some degree. But I think a lot of it is that you're going back and forth, or maybe they're going back and forth about should we or shouldn't we? Should we or shouldn't we? And, you know, I feel like, even as I'm saying this, it feels like there's just sunshine. It just feels like sunshine when you think about them. And I think there seems to be like this feeling of like, I really just enjoy being around them. And so it doesn't have to be romantic, right? But I feel like, yeah, there needs to be, I don't know, maybe there needs to be the talk. Maybe you have to talk with yourself. I mean, really decide what is going on here that I don't, you know, why is it, you know, is it that my own histories? Have I had problems with relationships or friendships? Do I feel like I don't deserve a friend this good? Do I feel like I'll fail them or they'll fail me? Or, you know, like all of these kind of, we got to go down the list. What's going on? Or, you know, is there something about them that I perceive to be unsafe? Or, you know, there's just something, I can't put my finger on it, but I know that, you know, like they almost like, maybe they'll just like switch as soon as you get close to them, or to, you know what I mean? Like all of a sudden they seem quite different. And, you know, that could be just what you are anticipating. It could be reality. I don't know. But I feel like there's kind of working out this, do I let them into my life a little bit more? Do I date them? Do I marry them? No, I don't know. I'm never going to tell somebody if you should marry them or not. That's a little above my pay grade there. But yes, I think it's important to kind of go over it, contemplate it. Okay, so we have the Wild Offering Oracle deck, and I'm going to go ahead and we're just going to flip through and stop where it feels right. Okay, and it says divine timing. The divine brings things in the time that we need. Nothing comes before we're prepared, nor leaves too early. May I always trust your perfect and holy timing, dear Lord. May I always trust your perfect and holy timing. All right. Well, Gemini, I'm going to go ahead and tell you I love you because I do, and I thank you so much for spending this time with me. It is always such an honor to be able to bring these messages to you, and if you would be so kind as to like the video, it really does help the channel so much. And if you have not subscribed yet, please think about doing that. You can hit that little bell. It'll let you know when the next readings are coming out, and it is free to subscribe. What else? If you'd like to leave a comment, please do. I read them all. Also, happy birthday. Happy late birthday if you've had it. I hope you had a most wonderful birthday. If it is today, on this very day that you are listening, super happy birthday to you. And if it is coming up, yes, happy early birthday. I hope this is your year. I know it kind of, you know what? I feel like it must be, right? So anyways, I love you. Take care of yourself. We're going to talk in a few days from now. Good night. Good night. Good night.